What's up, everybody? It's Nick, also known as the Vita Lover, and E3 finally wrapped up, and I'm going to get to it, but first things first, this video is going to be largely from a PS Vita owner perspective, as someone who doesn't own a PS4, so I'm going to remind you one more time, this is from the perspective of someone who owns just a Vita, and not a PlayStation 4. Let's make that clear from the very, very beginning. Now, earlier I made a video asking you guys to write the top 5 games you wanted to come to the Vita. If you watched the E3 press conference for the Vita, you will pretty much know that we had 0 games announced for the Vita at E3, which is pretty much the worst case scenario for the Vita at E3. Now, I did not have high expectations. I wasn't expecting 5 games to be announced. I just wanted one big game to come to the Vita at E3 this year. Just one game. And instead, what did we get? We got nothing. The Vita was not even mentioned at E3 until an hour and 20 minutes into the fucking conference. I think anybody with a brain, though, knew going into E3 that the PS4 was the focus of the conference, because, well, it's doing a whole hell of a lot better than the PlayStation Vita. But when they finally mentioned it, as I said earlier, an hour and 20 minutes in, it was to mention PlayStation Now. Which, in case, if you don't know what PlayStation Now is, it's a streaming device, service, which lets you bring PlayStation 3 library games to your PlayStation Vita. I already own a PS3. I don't need to stream games from the internet or PlayStation Now service to my Vita. I can already get them on my PlayStation 3. But really, all this does is point to the fact, or distract from the fact, the Vita's real problem. No games going into the future. There are very few games for the Vita going into the future. And really, E3 could not be a better opportunity for Sony to remedy that problem. To be honest here, I'm controlling a lot of rage, because I am absolutely livid about E3 for the Vita. Now, we didn't get any new software announced, aside from the new PlayStation Now software, which is really just PlayStation 3 games, which you can already get. What they did announce, or show, I should say, was Tales of R. We already knew that was coming. Child of Light, we already knew that was coming. Minecraft, we already knew that was coming. The one game they announced that was new, not really new, it's pretty much a port multiplat, was Tales of Borderland. I personally have no interest in playing an episodic game of Borderland. I'd much rather play a real-time game of Borderland. There were absolutely no good software announcements for the Vita. They just regurgitated the same crap. But for me, what really topped this press conference off was announcing the PS TV. This was perhaps, to me, the biggest slap in the face to us as Vita owners. As of lately, you'll notice Sony has been pretty much selling the Vita as an accessory to the PlayStation 4 as remote play. So, pretty much what they've been doing is trying to give the Vita value or distract from its big problem, like I mentioned with PlayStation Now, that it has no future games coming. They try to distract from that with remote play by saying, oh, you can have AAA experiences with a Vita through remote play. Complete bullshit. You have to pay close to $700 for that to happen. So, what do? They announce PS Vita TV. And apparently there was so much demand for it. I don't know where they got that from. I really don't. I have not seen very much demand for the PS TV outside of Sony fanboys. And if this is the only voice they're hearing, it raises serious problems for the PlayStation community. Because if all they are hearing is Sony fanboys, they pretty much marginalized moderate gamers like myself, who are willing to criticize them and actually make demands from them. Now, all they're hearing apparently is the Sony fanboys, hence why the PlayStation TV's here. People are not advocating, I saw for the vast majority, for PS TV. People were advocating for lower memory card prices, and hell, a AAA game for the Vita. Just one motherfucking game. But no, we got the PS TV, which, to be completely honest here, undermines the Vita in its entirety. Because pretty much now, the Vita was being used as a accessory to the PlayStation 4. The PS TV now, instead of streaming the PS4 to your Vita, streams it to the TV. Which pretty much means, instead of playing on a small OLED screen or LCD screen with the new Vita model, you can now stream it with a PS TV, PlayStation TV, whatever you want to call it, to your however many inches HD TV. Now the Vita's one remaining use or point of value for the Vita is pretty much gone. There's no more value for Sony in the Vita. They've completely undermined it. They released the PS TV, sorry, which is launching at $99, $139 for a bundle with a DualShock 3 HDMI and 8GB Vita memory card, and finally they give you a digital voucher for a LEGO game. There's really now absolutely no reason to buy a Vita. If you are even thinking of remote play, which very few people have done, as facts have shown. But pretty much there's no reason anymore to buy a Vita. PlayStation TV has completely undermined the Vita's last remaining point of value to Sony, which was remote play. What did the Vita get out of E3? Pretty much nothing. The only thing the Vita got out of E3 was pretty much being written off. There's now no reason to buy a Vita anymore besides new software, so Sony has pretty much put themselves in a corner with the Vita. If they want the Vita to grow as an ecosystem, there's pretty much only one solution left. They've reduced hardware down to $99 so you can plug it into your TV. There's now only one thing they can do to bring sales up for the Vita in the Vita TV. PlayStation TV, sorry. Software. They now have only one choice to help this ecosystem grow, and that is creating new software for the Vita and the PlayStation TV. They've shown at E3 and Gamescom they're not willing to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to invest the resources for the Vita. They all want to put it towards the PlayStation 4, which is obviously the logical thing to do. But if they want the Vita to grow at all, or just let it die, which is seemingly the case here, they need to make games for it. Or just... Personally, all I would want from Sony is a statement saying, hey, we're not making any more Vita games, we're not even getting indies on there, we're not doing anything for the Vita. We're just going to let it fizzle out. Pretty much at this point, that's all I want to fucking hear. It's just a complete admission that there's nothing coming to the Vita. And that is pretty much just short of what we got at E3. Thanks for watching. Wish I could bring you better news. I'm fucking pissed. Not happy about this conference at all.